So I strung this up because one, I wanted to see how it sounded, and it actually sounds not bad. So I'm playing it and I'm like, the neck feels nice. It sounds decent. It sounds decent unplugged. I don't really love the pickups in it, so I'm like, well, maybe should I keep it and replace the pickups? And yeah, if I'm gonna do that, like, well, then I'm going to probably get rid of the volume knob here because that bothers me when I play. And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this and that. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't need another guitar. So, although it plays really well and it sounds decent for a Squier, for whatever it was, $200 Squier or whatever, I'm not going to fix anything up. I'm just going to, I'm not going to fix anything up for me. I'm just going to fix it up and probably end up just giving it to a student. So anyway, I strung it up, and what I'm going to do is I wanted the neck to settle in and everything, and I'm going to adjust the action, the height, string height, and everything like that, and step by step, but we'll do that in videos. Right now, I'm just going to clean it up. So the easiest thing, just wiping it down, is just use an old face cloth type material, and most of it, if you just put a little bit of elbow grease in, it'll come out, anything that's on there. Okay, so if you do have to use a little tiny bit of water, then I feel comfortable doing that. I wouldn't get any water on any of like the little metal bits. These are actually already starting to kind of rust. I think this was kept like maybe in a basement that got a little humid. And then the other big thing is there's always little bits of plastic everywhere from the protective little plastic layer on the pickguard. So you can pop the knobs off, because this is where they really end up getting stuck. Okay, and if the volume knob will not come up, or any of the knobs, I just use an old pick because it's plastic, so it's not going to gouge things up. And I turn the knob all the way one direction and kind of pop a little bit, and then turn it a couple of notches, turn it a couple of notches. So what I'm doing is I'm just slowly inching the knob up off of the potentiometer shaft underneath. Okay, now I can get my finger underneath and pop it up. Okay, and I'm going to clean these too. But, see? What a mess. Okay, so if you're careful, you can usually, let me zoom in. Zoom. Ta-da. It's not very focused. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. So, all this extra plastic gunk. Okay, you can just tear it off. And if you really need to, you could take this nut off and get the stuff underneath. But I find if you just carefully peel the stuff off, it gets enough. And then you could use like a fingernail like I just did to get little tiny shreds. Just because if there's any little shreds sticking up, this is all going to be covered by the knob, but if there's any little bits of shreds sticking up enough, it'll rub against the bottom of the knob. Inside of that knob is gross. Okay, so next we'll clean these. But wiping down the guitar is going to take care of pretty much all of the surface gunk. Okay, I don't know if you can see. There's like some kind of discoloration there. And if I just take this dry, see? Wiped it all off. Nice. Okay, and this is a little bit abrasive. I mean, anything is. Your hand is going to be a little bit abrasive. But if it really bothers you, there's spray cleaners that you can use that are guitar safe and stuff. But, it's not good for the world. It's not good for the environment, all that stuff. So I usually just use this. And you know, the finish getting slightly less glossy is really kind of all part of just the aging process anyway, so I don't worry too much about it. But there we go, wiping down the guitar, easy.